Hey guys, it's Ben with American Equipment and HotPowerWashers.com, bringing you another video today. And today's video is going to be on a Magnum 4000 and how to replace the bottom and lower insulation wraps on the coil tank. So we're going to pull this tank and then replace the insulation. This is actually it's a 2021 unit, but it's actually never been used. So this is a new unit. We did actually pull previously the insulation from the unit, but I'm just going to show you how to replace the lower and upper insulation on this unit. And we'll also look at replacing the nozzle, or discussing the nozzle, the fuel nozzle inside the tank as well, which is also an important aspect of keeping and maintaining your hot power washer. So we're going to go ahead and get into this and discuss it as we go along here. All right guys, we're going to be raising this tank. I'm just using a engine hoist to raise the tank off the hot power washer. And first we're going to focus on the lower portion of it too, of the tank, with the nozzle and the lower insulation on this Magnum 4000. So obviously you want to remove any hoses. I've already taken the liberty of loosening this hose on top, so we can pull that part. If you had anything down low, you'd obviously release that as well. But as stock as they come, it's pretty good as it is. So we're gonna go ahead and remove. You got four screws around the bottom of the tank, so you need to take those loose first. All right, now all four screws around the bottom are taken out, and I'm ready. The top hose is off, and I'm ready to pull the tank off the bottom of the unit there. This actually has a lifting hook inside the tank, so I'll show that to you. See, that's the lifting hook right there. So you can lift it with a forklift, engine hoist, you know, whatever makes it easier for you. Now this is the lower and upper insulation pad, and then there's also a insulation wrap that goes around the tank and the coils on the inside here that you can't see. So this is this is your upper pad that actually goes up inside this ring up here at the top of the tank. This is your lower pad, it goes on the bottom there of this tank. Now this had previously been taken out for another power washer. We didn't have any of these in stock, so I pulled one from this unit. So that's why there's not one there. There usually would be this already there sitting on the bottom of the unit. But we sell these on our website, www.hotpowerwashers.com. Put the link down in the description. You can click on it there and purchase if you need to replace any insulation on your machine. So I did want to take time to point out that one of the main reasons that people have issues, it's one of the causes that people have issues, and one we've seen already multiple times here, why people have issues on their tank, this pad gets soaked and absorbed with fuel because their nozzle gets clogged and a bunch of buildup gets, it starts covering the nozzle. So that buildup creates the spray to go sideways and not in a nice cone spray like it's created to do. So as that pad's sitting there and the nozzle's spraying up, if there's a bunch of junk around the nozzle and it's not clean, it's spraying down, getting fuel all over this pad. It soaks this pad. Then when it ignites, it starts to ignite this pad, causes fuel-related issues, igniting-related issues, causes this to stay lit on fire, and you'll see your side here caught on fire. But we see it all the time. I just actually replaced one on a customer's unit where this pad was soaked, and it was disgusting. And every time they run their machine, it would catch this on fire because it was soaked in fuel. And they couldn't figure out why, but the nozzle had gotten clogged and junk built up on it. They didn't maintain it like they should. And that caused the pad to get soaked because of the spray that was coming out of that nozzle. So if that's the case, if it's soaked and it tends to ruin once that light's on fire and gets soaked with diesel, it tends to ruin this pad and needs replaced, and your nozzle needs cleaned or replaced. So that's why I'm showing you this video. But that's that. So I'm gonna bring up the camera a little bit closer here so you can kind of see what this looks like underneath the tank, because I'm assuming most people don't take the time to pull their tank and take a look at this. Okay guys, so here's a closer up view of what it looks like. And first we're going to show you how to, literally replacing the insulation on the bottom of these tanks is super easy. You're just gonna remove this one piece. So you're just gonna pull the old insulation off, clean it all up real good, any fuel, all that stuff. And then you literally just set it, tuck it in here like this. Tuck it around your flange here that covers your nozzle, and tuck it all the way, set your tank back on and screw it back on. So that's that. I'm gonna remove this here just to get it out of the way. One thing I did want to point out was you can remove the screws that go on this part that covers your burner or your nozzle, and just take out these 3 screws. There's 1, 2, 3 right there, and then you kind of have to work with it to get this off here. It's got a nice tight snug fit on top of this here, but you can remove it. You don't necessarily have to get the fuel nozzle off, which I'm going to show you here, but it does make it a little bit easier to work around, or you can drop the burner from the bottom as well. So looks like we got a 5/8 socket here, and you do have to work it in there, but it fits in there pretty good. And then literally all you have to do, get your pair of pliers or something, just to pull it out of there. And this is your fuel nozzle that goes down inside. Obviously this one's clean, so it doesn't need cleaned off or anything, but typically if you're already pulling the tank and the insulation and everything, you might as well pull your fuel nozzle. It tends to get a bunch of junk built up on the tip, which, like I said, can cause your fuel spray to not, the cone spray to not be accurate and burn correctly. You could either replace it or just clean it up, and hopefully that should solve the problem. We do sell these on our website as well for this unit. This nozzle tip, same nozzle tip. So if you're interested in that, they're not very much money to replace, so you can do that as well. So literally all you have to do is just unscrew that and then set it back in there and screw it back in, and that's that. Just make sure you don't mess up the igniters. You know, they have to be a certain distance apart to ignite properly. Make sure you don't mess that up when you're trying to pull your fuel nozzle out. And that's got the correct spacing between them before you set your tank back on. So we're gonna go ahead and put that fuel nozzle back in there because obviously it's still good. So when you replace your insulation, again, like I said, make sure it's all tucked in there real nice and tucked around this flange here. It has a nice solid tight fit, that there's no junk or debris around here before you set your tank back down. But it's all put back together now. We're gonna drop our tank back on here and set our tank back in place. And then I'll show you where the top coil are, because these come as a set here, a bottom and upper, they come as a set. We don't sell them separately, so you might as well just replace your lower and upper insulation. But we'll show you where the upper is located as well and how to replace that. So the same with the upper insulation. There are 3 screws around the top here. So we'll remove those, show you what that looks like. And it's also an easy installation as well. So as you can see here, I pulled the upper lid ring off of the top of the coil surround, and this is what it looks like when you get the top of the ring off. It has these little metal pieces that you can actually bend back. You're gonna bend back all 6 of them, and then you can easily remove that ring. Obviously this one's clean and doesn't need replaced, but that at least gives you an idea how to replace that upper ring there. So you just bend them back, keep them snug against that, makes it easy to replace. So you shouldn't have to, there is a upper insulation ring around the outside here, but if you look inside the fuel tank, or inside the coil system here, you can see there is a ring around that part of the insulation so it doesn't get soaked in fuel and all that. So you shouldn't have to replace that as much as you have to replace the upper and lower insulation pads. So once you get that insulation replaced, obviously you're just gonna stick this lid back on, line up all the screw holes, screw it back in, and you should be good to go. That's it for our video today, guys. Hey, thanks for watching. I appreciate all the subscriptions, and please subscribe for more videos. Ask any questions you want. I'll try my best to answer them. There'll be a lot more videos to come on hot power washers and attachments and equipment that we have here in the shop. Kind of follow what we're doing here. So I appreciate it, guys. Take care till next time.